Hello and welcome back to Man of the Antz Plays Planet Coaster's Career Mode. So we are trying to finish off this behemoth of a coaster. Look at that, that's a bit insane, isn't it? We need to, we need to get excitement up by 0.4 and we need to get fear down by 0.5. Average speed is fine, I believe. What we're looking at? Testing results. Average speed is fine, and the biggest drop is also fine. So we are very close. So hopefully this will just be a few adjustments, a few tweaks, and then we should be good to go. Now the fear is relatively easy enough to... Let's just turn the speed up so we can get the coaster all the way around. Relatively easy enough to deal with. We let it go all the way around. So we've got a lot of fear at this. This is the section we were trying to work on last time to try and get it down. Why didn't it hold the heat map? I don't know. Let's wait for it to go around again. Because we know that's very high fear. Let's see what it's like for excitement. Yeah, excitement's not great there either, is it? So if we have a look, why do you keep redoing the heat maps? Stop. Very weird. There has just been a patch to Planet Coaster, the summer update, so it may be a consequence of that. That it keeps redoing it as you leave. So if we just leave it there, it seems to be fine. So the fear isn't, live data, previous run data. That's what it was. So they've added the heat map data here, so you can look at previous run data. So if you change stuff, you can see how it's changed. That's actually really nice. Excellent. They've also added forward G-force, which I don't think was there before, which is obviously not much of a problem on this ride. So fear isn't too bad, because with fear what we can do is we can look at the G-force and we can see whereabouts the G-force has any kind of impact. So the lateral G-force is pretty much fine. There's a little bit there, a little tiny peak. So we can add a little bit of bank in there. And right down here, there's a lot of lateral G-force on this little section here. So that might be worth looking at. And if we look at vertical G-force, you can see here, this here is horrible for vertical G-force. It's quite bad here, it's quite bad here, it's quite bad here, it's quite bad here. And this whole bit here is horrible as well. This isn't great, but it's not too bad. I think under 5 is fine, but then we've got this little section here that isn't great either. So addressing those areas will resolve the fear problem without too much of an issue. The excitement, I am not so sure about. See, this one, even though it's a lateral roll, a sloped roll, what do you want to call it? On its side. It's a sideways loop is what I'm going to go with. Because it's on its side, it classes it as vertical G-force, because you're feeling the G-force is vertical to the track. Perpendicular to the track, I should say. Whereas the lateral G-forces are fine there. So, there isn't much we can do about these preset bits. Select the ride and all sequence parts, including all sequencer children, respectively. Don't really know what that means. So as I said, there has been a summer update. They've introduced, what is wrong with me today? Introduced a few new things. So there are fireworks, there are billboards that you can tie in with rides and you can put little videos on even and stuff like that. All very exciting. There are a few new flat rides as well. I think you can do customized colors on wooden coasters now, which is a new feature. All very exciting. So we might see, like we've already seen the heat map data was a little bit different, so we might come across a few other things as well. So what can we do here? Can we just raise this up to stop this being so horrible? In fact, if we just get rid of that, what if we just smooth all? Look at that. That's made it a lot better straight away. Let's start another test going and see how that fares now. Because the excitement was quite poor there, so it's probably not going to help the excitement, to be honest, but hopefully it might help it here a little bit. We do need to get the excitement up over 8 to really help with the averages, so it hasn't done much with the excitement at all. Hasn't really changed the fear either. I thought that would really help the fear, but the fear is still quite high. Still a fair amount of vertical G-force there, I guess, is the problem. Put that on previous run data and we just say stop test. So still a little bit there. It's not as bad as it was, but there's still a fair amount. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? So I'm focusing on this bit because the fear... Yeah, that fear there, if we can get rid of that, that should help bring that fear down. That's the plan. But I'm not too sure how we're really going to manage that then. What can we do? What can we do? I suppose we could just stick a brake in, maybe? What if we just stick a brake in before it? What happens then? Off you go. I would like a way of going back to the old heat map system, I think. Because the live data is really useful, but it's nice to see the previous data and the live data at the same time. Ah, it doesn't even get over. And the fear is still really high there. Why is that, I wonder? So that did not work. What if we change the acceleration and change the target speed completely? So just a tiny little bit of braking is what I'm hoping will happen there. And like I say, I think the fear will be easier to work on. So if we concentrate on the fear first, and then we can get working on the excitement afterwards. Still horrible. Still horrible. So what if we change the acceleration up to, let's say 4? No, let's say 3. This may well be the last video on this. Still horrible. Still horrible. Hasn't changed it at all. On this scenario, hopefully. I mean, as we're only doing this one coaster, what I think I'll do is what I've done previously, which is I will just get it done, and if I need to shorten the video later on, I will shorten the video and cut out a lot of the gumpy sort of stuff. What if we get rid of the heat maps? If we delete that, I don't want anything there. And if we delete a bit of this, what if we just put a corner in? What if we just put a corner in? Just turn the old angle snap off. Have it coming down a few degrees. Bring that corner around. And put a little bit of banking on. Banking the other way? Banking the other way I think it should be, shouldn't it? Too much banking? Maybe. What if we... that's too much corner. Too much corner. Let's get rid of that again. So let's start a corner going. If we go about 30 degrees... little bit. Which way is it going? Little bit of banking. And if we nope, undo that. If we delete that, come up to this end. We say autocomplete, and then what I might do is just put some twists in there to make that a bit exciting. Let's just see what that does to start with. Right, okay, around and around and around. I tried a few things at this end last time. I don't think I just tried this. No, it's not too bad, is it? 5-4, so it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. It's not perfect still. This little bump here is still causing a lot of issues. There's no lateral G-force. Stop defaulting to that. It's a little bit of... just a little bit of that, but not much. I'm not sure why that's causing so many issues. I'm really not. No, don't do that. I just hit autocomplete. Let's see if that makes any difference. And what was it like? There was a bit over here where it was a bit annoyed, wasn't it? Here. Fear goes down. The low fear isn't particularly concerning. I think that's fine. Is that because it's just getting a bit slow there? I wish you would default to previous. Not going particularly slow at all, no. So I don't know why they're complaining about that particularly. And what does excitement look like? Oh, we can't even look at it at the moment. Yeah, a little bit frustrating with the new heat map method. I like the idea of having previous runs available, just doesn't seem to quite be working. Yeah, it's a little bit boring, isn't it? So the fear has gone down a touch, not a huge amount really. I would hope it would have gone down by more than that, but I suppose it's still high. That bit there is still quite high. It's only really here where it goes down completely. So I do not know what to do about that section there. So that's all part of the twist. Where does the fear start? The fear starts on this section. So if we just delete that, and we delete that, and we delete that, and we just say autocomplete, lovely and smooth, do that, smooth it all up, smooth the banking, start test. What happens then? That's a bit better. 524. So we're definitely getting there. Definitely getting there. That's really smoothed that out. The excitement has gone probably down a little bit, if anything, because that's relatively boring. But what we can do is we can stick a corkscrew or two in there. That will hopefully help that out a little bit. So let's focus on the fear. That's all now fine. Stick with the previous run data. Why won't you stick with the previous run data? In fact, I'm just going to stop the test. So it's a little tiny bit high there, but not enough for us to really worry about. It's really these peaks we want to concern ourselves with. The fear is a little high down there, but you'd kind of expect that, and I'm not sure there's much I can really do about that. Apart from maybe stick some banking in. If it's turning a bit, well, it's not going to tell us how much it's turning by. So what if I just say, what if I just select all of that up to about there, and I say smooth all, smooth all, smooth all, smooth banking, smooth banking. And then if we just put in, oh, it's not telling me how much it's. Wait for that to sort itself out. And then we will undo that. Did that undo? Okay. Just tell me how much you're doing it by. You don't want to, do you? You're going to refuse. If I click there, it tells me. By 0.05. I can't bank that bit. Let's start a test. So 66566 is what that does at the moment. And it does exactly the same. 6656, or a little tiny bit less, but barely anything. Okay. Relatively high there, relatively high there. There are no other massive peaks really, are there? Which is a pain. It's just slightly off. How much has that got selected there? That whole bit. And where else? This bit here. But because these are all kind of custom fab parts, I doubt smoothing it's going to make much of a difference. So all I can really do is drop the speed by a fraction. But that's going to affect the excitement quite a lot, you'd have thought. Exactly the same, yeah, exactly the same. So what if then, if we just select the chain and drop it down to 12 miles per hour? What happens then? What does that do for the ride? What does it do for our average speed? How does it affect the fear? Does it affect the fear? Still making it round, which is something. That was a bit of a concern. Fear has gone down a little bit, and excitement, I don't know if it's even gone up a little bit maybe. Average speed has changed a fraction, but not much. So let's drop the chain down to 10 and start the test. We are still raking in the money in the park. $462,000 we have now. Huge amount of money. Huge amount of money. Definitely felt like it was a bit slower there. 516.74. So the excitement has definitely dropped now. But we are getting slightly better results. So what if we go down here and change... Where are our brakes? There. Is it just the 2 lots of brakes we have? Yes. So what if we change the second set of brakes to make the deacceleration rate 3? Let's start that again. Where is it? There it is. 3's the wrong way, for starters. That's going to make it faster. That's the opposite effect. That's the opposite to what we wanted. You donut. Yep, fear has now gone up quite a lot. But excitement's also gone up. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. So let's put that up to 5. And see what happens. Where is it? See, I like the way it only changes, gets rid of your live data from before where you made it, after where you made the change. That's a nice little touch. So it made it round. Okay, fear is now under. So we've now achieved the fear. We now need to get the excitement up by a full 1. A full 1. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, the excitement barely gets high at all. So what can we do about that? Well, this whole bit here is quite boring. If we have a look at the speed, it's going relatively fast. So what if we just change the banking on the corner? I can't. Why can't I change the banking? Because of the previous and bits before? Oh, I can change it there. But I can't change it on these bits. And I can change it there, but not these two. What if I select them both at once? No. What if I select less? No. Weird. Very weird. Okay. Well, where's it banking at the moment? It's doing what you'd expect, isn't it? Why are those brakes? That's why I can't change the banking. Why are those brakes? Did I ask for them to be brakes? I don't recall asking them to be brakes. Or do I? I think I did do that, didn't I? And I think they are, yeah, tiny deacceleration. Okay. Let's get rid of the brakes. Did I miss a set? Is that all of them? I think that's all of them. We can always stick in a brake down here, can't we? Where it's actually getting in towards the end. That doesn't seem so bad. So let's just start a quick test off. Well, let's see what happens then to, I guess, both our fear and our excitement. Nothing. Basically didn't change anything. So those brakes did absolutely nothing. So it doesn't matter if we got rid of them. Excellent. That's kind of what I wanted. So, with that in mind, if we take a look at our excitement heat map, excitement there where you've got a corkscrew and then boring. So, one of the things, the first thing I think I want to try is what if we change the banking to be negative banking, negative camber. Because I have heard they find that quite exciting. So at the moment it's going that way, so what if we change it to go this way? I know, right? Mental. We do about 45-ish degrees. And on this bit as well. What happens then? You can see how often it doesn't peak above 8, can't you? Couple of them, but not many. Something dips down there a little bit, so that might be an area for us to look at. No, a bit more fear, no more excitement. That did very little. That did very little. So, where did we just change that? That's flat. Or not flat, but it's a little bit negative. So what if we just, if we take it the other way, what if we say 47 degrees, pick the next bit, go the opposite way. I want to roll you. Why can't I roll you? Is it because this one is that way? So now if I go back to this one, yeah, I can take you further. Okay. So what about that? Okay, where are we? There he is. Yeah, that dip there in the excitement. Another little dip there. Did very little for excitement, didn't it? Just not sure what I can do for excitement. Okay, well, let's just get rid of all of that. Leave it nice and normal. So what if we put some sort of crazy loop in at the very end then? Just a standard vertical loop. Kind of want it to be lower. If I place it, undo that. Can I then make it lower? Yes. No, I want to make you lower. No, I want to make you lower. You do have to argue with this game sometimes. If I bring it down to about there, how close is that to the end of the track? A little bit too much, if anything. Needs to come up a little bit. Excuse me. And if I then say... Nope. If I then say... Just autocomplete. Ooh, not so sure. Not so sure that's going to work. Oh, something like that, maybe. That might have gone a bit too far. And if we... Oh, that's not really doing much, is it? I was hoping it'd do more than that. Well, let's have a look, see what happens. Let's see what happens. I'm not entirely sure they'll have enough speed to actually get up that. It's quite a big loop, isn't it? It's not quite what I had in mind. No. Of course it doesn't. So what can we put in? No, I don't think any of the loops are going to really do it, are they? Oh, they've changed it. I've just noticed they've made it a list rather than buttons. So what do we have here? That's a little bit big. It's a little bit big. Oh god, they've added more. That's quite cool, actually, isn't it? Something like that, but a bit smaller might be quite nice. So let's just delete a bit more of that. And then if we stick in one of these 0G rolls, twist it towards the actual track, and then make it a little bit smaller, and a little bit smaller again. No, I want to select this. Let me select that. No, that's not actually reduced. Oh, it is. It's going now. So if we just hit autocomplete, go. And if we make this section a trim break. See what happens there. Where is he? Oh, I didn't even start the test. Thought I did. Just got to the top. So it's been about half hour so far, and we've got the fear down, but the excitement is still our little bane of existence. Oh, it doesn't even make it along it. Oh, bugger. Can't make it any smaller. So we might just have to try doing some manual stuff here. But it didn't really like it, did it, is the problem. Did not really like it. So what about just some... some stuff like that, maybe. If we just do that. And then autocomplete. Start it again. Okay. It's gone up a little bit. Fear still good. Excitement's gone up a tad. What more can you really ask for? That's good. Excitement there is good. So if we can just do some similar things, like from here onwards. So where does this one end? There. In fact, let's just go from here. That's the actual loopity-loop. So if we get rid of that... Nope. Don't want to do that. If we go from here... and say here, what do we have? Don't want to be quite as flat as that. Low down as that, I should say. Don't really want a dive loop. We tried the hammerhead before. Entry left, midsection left, exit left. It's not really actually going left, is it? I think it means more of a left roll. What I actually wanted to do is turn slightly. And the vertical stuff probably isn't going to do as much good. Oh, hang on. What if we do that? What about that? It's got to be pretty exciting, right? Is that bit going to cause a lot of fear again, though? That's the question. Let's take a look. Here it goes. No. Ah, because it doesn't make it around it. So it causes very little fear. Let's just... in fact, we'll redo that. That's redo. So let's stop that test. So this bit... what if we just make you a bit smaller? Too small. Too small. How small can we go? A bit more? Too much? Up a bit? Perfect. Oh, now it's doing this thing again, where it moves super slowly. Oh, I was hoping that would have been patched out, whatever's causing that. Why does it do it? Seems to have changed the... I haven't pressed the numlock right, doesn't have I? No. Well, let's just start the test. We'll see what happens. It does seem to change the way it actually moves. I've done something, I'm just not sure what. Like it moves the camera relative to a position rather than just relative to the ground. So is it going to make it around is the question? Nope. So we need to... Ooh, what do we need to do? We just need this to be lower really, don't we? Something like that? And what I think I'll do after this is I'll have a quick save of the game, then I'll go off and come back in to fix this stupid controller. I might even look up what causes it. In fact, that would make sense. Oh, it made it. 717. Can't remember what it was before. I think that's gone up a bit. I do believe that's gone up a bit. It's terrible there just because of the slow speed. It gets to 10 there. So maybe we don't do that. Maybe we just do a bunch of random ass corkscrews. Okay. Let's save the game. Unless that happens to have fixed it. Nope. Let's save the park. Save number 8. And I will be back momentarily. Okay, so we are back. So the controls are working. I also looked at what did it. It's when I hit the T key, it changes the camera method. It doesn't give you sort of any on-screen prompt that I can see as to what you've done, but that's what does it. So now that we know that, we can crack on. So, why have you selected... Oh, because I'm not in edit mode. I just wanted to delete this, and I was like, why is it selected so much? That's crazy. Although it has made it now, hasn't it? So if we have a look at the excitement heat map. Still finds this very boring. Finds it very boring. How fast does it go in there? Oh, yeah, so it needs to start going down there, really, I think, doesn't it? That little bit at the peak there really kills it. So, let's get rid of that bit. It's not really working for us. It is not working for us. I'm trying to figure out what parts are actually part of a... That's part of a custom thing. She have that bit, whatever that actually means. So here, what if we just kind of do... Do that. We might have to send it on a bit of a corner. So what I'm thinking is we'll just do a bit of ups and downs. So remember when I first had issues with coasters, that was basically what people recommended. Just do some up and down bits. And that'll sort out all your worries. Probably should have made that go a bit further up there. So what about that? What happens then? What was it up to? 717, I think. And fear we don't care about, as long as it's under 5, which it was. If I can just get this all in the green, at the very least, I might just start working on other areas and trying to pump the excitement up there. Because there's a couple of areas where it just drop a little bit, isn't there? Wasn't paying attention to what it did there. It's exactly the same. It is exactly the same. So I suspect if we look at our heat map... Yep, a little bit of boringness again. Not so bad. Boring. Oh. Okay, let's get rid of that. So what if... Oh my word. No, select that. No, don't do that. What's wrong with you, game? Okay, so that is part of that bit. This, with this little bump in, we will get rid of. So what if we do one of these inclined loops? Other way. It seems to look quite favourably on them before, didn't they? So if I do that... And if we come back to... Nope. If we come back to it and bring it down... it's not quite right, is it? What I want really is an inclined loop that goes downwards rather than upwards. I guess I could just build one, couldn't I? What does this actually do? I kind of pivots it. Okay. Let's undo and let's try and build our own inclined loop. Which way are we going here? We're going around to the right, aren't we? Let's do that. Let's do that. It's a bit bigger than the other one was, but that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. So what about that? What happens there? Around it goes, up and down and up and down. The reason I'm doing this is because I know that one there I saw had a very high excitement. It's gone down! It's gone down! Oh my word! Oh yeah, it's all horrible! Why is it so horrible? Why is it so horrible? Lateral force is fine. That's fine as well. I just don't really know. What are we doing? No. No! Undo. That's all straight stuff, from what I can tell. So let's... Nope, okay, I see what I did there, yep. Now we want that. And then this. Make this a bit shorter. Bring it down level. Then if we stick in some form of midline roll. I want something that goes back 90 degrees there then. Not a dive. A dive is useless to everyone. It's a dive, corkscrew. No, we tried that before. That's too big. I like the inclined loops. I just needed to go the other way, really. It's never going to make it up that. Never in a million years. What about non-inverted? What have we got here? That's about the closest we've got. So maybe we just do this ourselves then, I think. If we try for about 30 degrees, stick on some negative camber. Which probably had it going down a little bit, I guess. So about 30 degrees, negative camber, going down by that much. How does, if we smooth all, 723, it is getting there. That's the highest so far, isn't it? 723 and 4.9. So let's stop that test. Let's look at excitement. So it is still boring there. Why is it so boring there? I don't understand. I don't understand how I can make that less boring. What about that? We also are running a little low on fear we can play with, up to 4.9 now. Has to stay below 5, remember. $725, that's actually a little bit better. It's a little bit better. Like I say, we are running low, and the average speed has gone. Oh, God. It was 35 it had to be, wasn't it? Yep. Oh, piss. It's 35 all the way along there. In fact, it's 35 everywhere apart from the climb. And the climb at the moment is on what? 10. What if we stick that up to 12? It's going to push our fear up, and I think it might push our fear over the edge, to be honest. Not quite, but it's not far off. 36 now, though, so at least our average speed is up high enough. So now it's excitement that we have to really worry about. Excitement is still terrible here. I don't really know what I can do about that. I do not know what I can do about that. So it's this bit here that's really going to drag it down, isn't it? That's low, but it's not terrible. But this, we tried looking at you before and we couldn't figure out what we could do to fix you. So let's focus on you right now. You specifically. What if we just... No, that's the whole thing. Don't want to do that. Let's get rid of that. No, let's not just rebuild it exactly the same. Make it a bit shorter. What if we do that? I mean, that's probably going to push our fear up, I suspect. Because I think we're going to get some pretty bad lateral Gs there. But let's just try it for now. Let's see what's happened. Where is it? There it is. I don't know how that bit can be boring. It seems mental. Yeah, fear's up. Excitement has gone up, but fear has gone up. And I think if we look at our vertical G-forces, that's why. So what if we do that? Here it comes again. Look at the live data. It's still pretty bad there. Yeah, it's still over 5. What about that? Still bad, but it's not terrible. Still over 5. Oh my word. So what if we... If I just undo everything till it disappears. What if we go the other way? Undo that. What if we go up instead? Pretty high. So we need to be gentle with it. Because it's apparently going quite fast. That's a bit better. So what about that? Looks a little bit janky. We got one going, there he is, yeah. So smooth out those G's a little bit. Just made the fear much worse. Made the fear much worse. Is that because it's just going faster there now? Oh god. The fear over here is now terrible. This is what's really destroying it. Look at that fear. Can't really change our speed too much. The excitement there is so good. Alright. Well, I don't think I'm going to make this the actual episode because I've just been mainly playing around with nothingness, but I'm going to have to stop there. So I suspect we shall just carry it on next time and actually just go until we get a whole video together, which is a huge pain really. It does take so long, but I don't think an hour of me just doing this. But then again, that is what the game's about. I do say that as well, don't I? It is what the game is about. So maybe... There we go. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? So maybe that is what we need to do. So let's just undo a few things, get it back to how it was. Did I delete that whole corner? I did. Oh, no wonder it got a bit weird on me. So if I just try this very quickly. If we just do that, and if we go over here and if we just smooth all, we'll just start a very quick test and we'll see what happens now. And no wonder that affected all that so much, because I guess it would keep a lot more of its speed, perhaps? Let's look at fear and see if fear stays horrible over there. Excitement is still terrible there. It's made no difference whatsoever. Fear is still horrible there. It is under at 7.25, so we'll just have to leave it at that and we'll see what happens next time. Ah dear, I was hoping this would be it. I was hoping this would be the last one on this. And I think I may just do this as a video. I think this is what Planet Coaster's about, isn't it? So I don't think I'm going to go back and do it again. I think the next one, I don't think I can spend 3 or more than 3 videos on a single coaster. Particularly as this has taken another hour again. So, I think this will be the full video. So I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed watching me trying to tinker with this and struggle massively. We have got our fear down, which is brilliant. We just need to get that, and it's a fair chunk as well of excitement. It's... oh god, my maths is terrible. It's over 10%. Is it? Yeah. Or it's about on 10% in fact. It's around 10%. Roughly around 10% of excitement we need to get. And I don't know how we're going to squeeze that much out of this ride. I really don't. It might even be we have to just bite the bullet and start again. Or delete like a huge section. Don't know. If you do have any ideas, do leave them down below. I would be very much appreciated. Particularly if they are helpful ideas. If you have any experience with it, you know, that would be awesome. If you did enjoy the video, please do click the like button. That is, of course, very much appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already. And like I say, if you have any comments on how I'm doing or any suggestions, leave them down below. And I'll get back to you as soon as I see them. Otherwise, I shall see you next time in Planet Coaster's career mode, where we continue to struggle with this ridiculous coaster. Thank you very much for joining me.